I'm leaving you. Hi. I'm sorry if anybody's been waiting a little while to get in. We've had a few technical issues. No. So hi, I'm sorry if anybody's been waiting to get in. We've had a few technical issues with the computer. Me and Lisa have never done anything like this before. So today we are going to make some Easter cheesecakes. These have taken the internet by storm. I myself has made several yesterday. So today Lisa did pop on the sort of amounts you need. I'm going to half those amounts because, like I say, I made some yesterday and we've got loads in the fridge that we just can't give away. So I'm only making 2 today, and I'm going to gift them to the mother-in-law and my dad because I just need them out of the house. So if you haven't seen them before, what you'll need is an Easter egg. So if I'm using this size Easter egg, you can use bigger, but obviously you'll need to increase your ingredients, and if you're using smaller, decrease your ingredients. You'll need icing sugar. Any icing sugar, you don't need to use this Silver Spoon brand. Any icing sugar will do. Some double cream. Quite sticky because I haven't used it all, so it's filling outside. Some cream cheese. Shortbread biscuits. If you don't like shortbread biscuits, you can use digestive biscuits. Just add shortbread. And some vanilla extract, and of course your eggs. Now, I'm not falling down a hole. I'm just getting something out of the fridge. Fridge is under the bench, right? So this was. So you'll need your Easter eggs. The problem I had with the Easter egg was it was sealed together and I couldn't quite get into it. So what you'll need to get into it is a sharp knife, and if you sort of warm the knife up in some warm water and then just gently sort of put around, sort of rub your knife, and don't press too hard because I went through 2 eggs prior to this one because the pop. So yeah, just warm your knife up and just slowly go around, and if you've got some patience, you will get through. So that's what you need. So first, what you're going to do is you're going to make some breadcrumbs out of your biscuits. So you can do this by popping them into a freezer bag and just giving them a good batter with a rolling pin. Or if you're really lazy like me, I use the food processor. So I'll just put this down so you can see. And also I use the food processor to break mine up. However, don't leave them in there too long because otherwise sort of they just start to form their own new biscuit. Yeah, so I use the food processor, quite lazy. It's not even a food processor, it's one of the NutriBullets that I treated myself to at Christmas. Obviously not using it for juicing, I'm using it for something a bit more lazy. Oh, actually, I forgot to remind you, you need butter as well, because even though these are sticking together, you'll need butter. So the amount of biscuits I use, because like I say, I've halved my amounts, so I used 125 grams of biscuits. And because I'm halving the amount of butter, I'm only going to use 50 grams of butter as opposed to the 100 grams that we had in our ingredients list. So I'm just going to warm this up now. Just warm that butter up. Just keep an eye on your butter as well. It's like all experiences that I've had yesterday. Just keep an eye on it because it will explode in your microwave if you leave it in there for too long, much to my husband's dismay. So just while we're waiting for that. So what we're going to do is we're going to add the butter in here and we're going to make our biscuity base, which is going to sit on the inside of our Easter egg. So like I say, I've half my amount. So if you've got 4, that's fine. You should be using double the amount. So you should be using 250 grams of biscuits and 100 grams of melted butter. Like I say, we've halved it, so I'm just using 125 and 50 grams of butter. So I'll move this in. Not too sure if you can do that really clearly. I'm going to have to invest in a nice snazzy piece of tech. So I'll just wait for that. Didn't really realise how long it would take, but once that's done, grab my trusty spatula for popping that in there. So if you've prepared things ahead of time, you're doing this with me as we do it. I've also prepared mine. There you go, there's the top. That means it's ready. It's like a smoke alarm when it goes off when you're cooking. So here's my melted butter. So I'm just going to pour that over there. And use a spatula. And just mix that in together. Smells really good. I can't eat another one of these. We've got like bits of these in the fridge left over. Mix up so you get your biscuity base. Very creamy. Oh. This is what you think. If I put too much butter in, but don't worry, it will sort of, it will start to thicken up. Then you can pop it in there. What I found helpful as well is to refrigerate your eggs a little bit, just because obviously this is like warm butter, they will go a little bit soggy. So just be ready to pop them into. Yeah, that looks really good there now. Oh, you say that, nice and green. There we go. So once you've got that, you want to pop it just into the bottom of your. So depending on how much of a biscuity base you like, I would just cover sort of 1/3 of the egg, but if you like a really biscuity base and you want to pile the cream on top, go a little bit, sort of bit more. But for me, personally, I'm not too excited about the biscuity base. So just pop that in there. Just press it down. Okay, this is enough for 2. You probably notice when you're doing this that your fingers start to sort of lift the egg a bit. All right, there we go. This one. Now you want to refrigerate these for an hour or so, but because we're working in real time, we haven't got that time unless you want to sit and watch me empty the dishwasher and things for an hour. So once you've done that, I'm going to pop these into the fridge for about an hour or so. Fridge again. Then in the meantime, you can prep all your other bits. So the first thing I'm going to prep, I have already prepped it, but I'm just going to show you what you need. So you need your cream cheese. So again, I've half my amount. So instead of using 600 grams, I've just used 300 grams. Think about it there, quick math. So I use 300 grams, but it's quite handy if you get these tubs, because they're 200-gram tubs, so you don't even need to weigh it out, just sort of 1.5 tubs of that into a bowl with your ice and sugar. So the ice and sugar recipe, the original one, the reported asked for 100 grams, but again, I'm using half amount, so I've just used 50 grams of this, and I popped it into a bowl. And you just want to really give this a good whip up. Once you first put this in, it does go really loose and you panic for a bit thinking, well, that's never going to firm up, but just keep with it, just keep whisking it. The reason I haven't done this in real time and showed you me whisking it is because I do not have an electric whisk. I had to do it all by hand, which was a bit of a nightmare. It was all in my hair, it was all over the floor. So if you've got an electric whisk, it doesn't take too long, but if you're doing it by hand, you end up with arms like Popeye. So you want to mix that together, but just before it starts firming up, like I say, it goes quite sloppy and you get a bit worried. Pop in about half a teaspoon. Well, it's a full teaspoon in the original recipe, but just half a teaspoon just into your bowl there, and just whisk that all up, and that's your vanilla extract. Or if you've got the time and you've got vanilla pods, use that. So like I say, give that a good whisk up, and it does firm up. You do have that moment of panic where it's not very firm, but it does firm up in the end. And then in a separate bowl, you want to whisk up your double cream. So in the original recipe, it asks for 284 mils of double cream, but like I say, I'm using half, so I have just used a quick math, 142 mils. But again, I didn't even weigh it out. I just knew it was half, so I just poured in half. It's pretty safe, fail-safe recipe. The only thing you really need to weigh out is your ice and sugar, because I used a block of butter where it had pretty much lined everything up with the weights on there as well, so I just needed to look and cut. So once you've done got everything in there, which is just your double cream, you want to give this a good whisk up. So you want to whisk it so you've got sort of like soft peaks, like so. Don't know if you can see that, they're very well, it's soft as I could get it, my arms are killing us. So once you've done that, you want to add your double cream to your cream cheese mix. Just move that, and you want to fold it in. This is where it ends up all over the head. You You're going to fold this all in together. Now, this is such an easy thing to do. I am not a cook. I am not very good in the kitchen, but this is so easy. I love anything like you don't actually need to bake. Anything that goes in the oven is a nightmare for me. So again, we're just going to fold this in together. Now, if anybody's an actual cook, they'll be looking at this going, well, that's a bit. But this is how I fold, and it does taste good. So, like I say, this recipe is so easy to do. So just fold it all in together. Trying not to overdo it. I'll probably overdo it because I'm talking and I'm doing it. So just fold it all in together. And then that's your cream cheese mix. And it looks like we've got absolutely loads there, doesn't it? Maybe I whipped it too much. But if you've got any leftover, you could always make yourself a little cheesecake. Or if you've got leftover biscuits, this is what I was doing yesterday, just dipping the shortbread biscuits in there. Oh, it's a game changer. Really nice. So that's for cream cheese done. Right. So let's just pretend that we've had the eggs in the fridge for 2 hours. We haven't just had them in for 5 or 10 minutes. So I'll just show them just a little bit more. Right. So in the meantime, what you should have got with your Easter eggs is, I tend to call them accessories, but it's just sort of your little pieces of chocolate. So I've gone for the Cadbury's cream egg one, just because we ate all the mini egg ones yesterday. And I wasn't able to get one at the supermarket today. Everybody must have had the same idea. So I'm going to use the Cadbury's cream egg. So what you can do with these is just, I'll put them in the fridge just because they're a bit firmer when you're cutting them and they don't sort of fall to bits. Whereas if you haven't got them in the fridge, you try to cut them in half, they are just going to spill everywhere. So pop those in the fridge if you can. Right, let's get these, let's see how these are doing. Right. Like I say, I haven't given them as long as I probably would have, but let's just pretend these are really nice and fair. And then we're going to start loading the cream cheese in. You probably not seen we have a lot of cream cheese. I don't know if I have. If I whipped it, I didn't seem to have this much yesterday. Maybe I have. Maybe I've just whipped it a bit much. And we're just going to load this in there. So the trick I find is easier is to start from the edges, and then you can sort of spread it into the middle. And it doesn't make such a mess. Gently place this in. I've seen people use the wafer daisies to decorate the tops of these. The Malteser bunnies, they've had those stuffed in the top, making it look like they're burrowing under it. That's always really good. Let's spread that over. And next, oh yeah, I've got a little bit extra cream cheese. I suppose that's me. That's my 11s sorted out. I'm having shortbread biscuits dipped in cream cheese. So there you can see this one's obviously gone. Oh, I was a bit heavy-handed with this one as well. But once it's been in the fridge, what I'll do is I'll pop that in a bowl. And then once it's been in the fridge for a bit and set, should be fine. Nobody be none the wiser. So I'm probably overfilling these a bit more than some people, but I love cream cheese, so that's fine. Right, so you can try and just tidy those up best you can. Now it gets to the good bit. Pop that in the bowl in a bit. Use this one. This one, we'll get rid of that one. Just post it. Try and hold it together with cream cheese. Right, I'm just going to pop this. So it's out of the way. It's messing with the magic thing. There we go. That's one that we get to eat there. So what you should end up with, there is a little bit of cream cheese left. Depends on how much you want to fill them. If you want to put loads in, you can. I've just overwhipped that. Maybe it's just got a bit heavy-handed with the whipping. Doesn't seem to have that much. Never have too much. So once you've got that all in there, you would then get your little accessories. I'm just going to get. So get your accessory. Oh, nearly. See, there we go. So with your egg, you just want to, like I say, these have been in the fridge, so they're a little bit easier to work with. These, fingers off. I'm going to put this again. Fingers. It's like really nervous. Door's open there. It's the dog. You can hear us chopping things up. You must think it's lunchtime. Then from there, with your egg, then decorate top. Top. I'm going to stretch it out a little bit where it gets a little bit of that cream cheese on. That's that. And if you wanted to, you could sort of, like I say, grate some chocolate over there. If you've got a flake, you could crunch a flake up over there. A lot of people use wafer daisies to decorate these, but these are a nice, easy one, especially if you've got leftover. It's madness. If you've got leftover Easter eggs. If you've got leftover Easter eggs and you're wondering what to do with them after Easter, this is a really sort of nice treat to do. And like I say, I'm taking some over to my, well, only one of them will have to fight over it, either the mother-in-law or my father's going to get one. But they're really nice as an alternative to giving them an Easter egg. It's a really nice treat, and the shortbread base sort of really makes it. So if you need the recipe, it is on our Facebook page. We'll also be popping just the ingredients and recipes and how to make it on our next newsletter. And yeah, that's the easy peasy cheesy cake Easter egg. So there you go. Back up. So if you do make any, feel free to post them and tag us in them on Facebook. We'd really like to see how yours turned out. Like I say, you could make yours a bit more adventurous than mine. But I just thought with the ingredients we had, they're just really nice and easy to make. Yeah, so that's everything, how to make them. Like I say, I've got leftovers. I'm going to have that with some strawberry biscuits later. Nightmare. So yeah, if you make them, let us know, and look out for the recipe in our next newsletter. Okay, thanks. Bye.